My adventurous and optimistic Sagittarius friend. Hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and I'm here to offer you a 3-card reading exploring the themes of you, your path, and your potential. I invite you to consider what the reading reveals about possible challenges, opportunities, and personal growth for the week ahead. Take a deep breath, rest your mind, and let's see what the cards have to share with you today. Sagittarius, let's begin here. Beneath your laughter, behind your easy confidence, a subtle pressure has been building. You may not name it out loud, but you know the sensation. A faint shadow cast across bright days, a persistent question that lingers on the edge of your mind. Something in you wonders if your efforts are truly seen, if your recent victories have landed in a way that satisfies some deeper hunger. There's a restlessness that doesn't always show, even to those closest to you. It pulses quietly, mixed with pride, mixed with the urge to keep moving. You might feel the weight of recent achievements, the sense that accolades don't always translate to real understanding from others, or even from yourself. Recognition has come, perhaps, but does it settle the internal score? Or is there an unspoken ache, a longing for true validation that no external applause can quite touch? You find yourself standing in a space shaped by accomplishment. The 6 of Wands mirrors your current state, not a parade but a private, steady recognition of your own persistence. You've worked hard. You've been noticed, perhaps even celebrated, but the feeling is more complex than simple pride. There's gratitude, yes, and a sense of having overcome obstacles, but also a quiet ask, what now? There's the afterglow of success, but it doesn't quite illuminate everything. Sometimes you catch yourself wondering if your efforts are enough, or if you might have missed something essential along the way. Maybe you feel a tension in your chest, a subtle urge to keep proving yourself even as you crave rest. There's a desire to be seen for the fullness of who you are, not just the things you accomplish. And yet, with every outward nod of approval, the inner voice grows slightly more insistent, nudging you to check in with your own heart. Emotions swirl, relief, pride, a flicker of impatience. The applause dies down, but your need for meaning persists. This week your spirit seems to hover between satisfaction and something unspoken, as if waiting for a sign that it's okay to pause. This inner state, equal parts fulfillment and yearning, naturally shapes the road ahead. When the momentum of achievement slows, you're left with the hush that follows. The question arises, do you keep striving, or is it time to let yourself be still? The tension between movement and rest becomes the ground you walk on. Your inner drive, so often a source of direction, now meets a softer counterpoint, a gentle, almost unfamiliar call to retreat, to listen, to let the dust settle around you. This is not an easy shift. The gears of effort want to keep turning, but something in you is ready to surrender, if only for a moment. The path forward is shaped by this quiet tug of war, and the choices you make in response will echo through the week. Life does not pause, even when you do. The world continues to ask things of you, even as your mind and body urge rest. The 4 of Swords slips into your story here. The pace around you may slow, but it doesn't stop entirely. There are obligations to fulfill, and yet a deep fatigue seeps in, the kind that cannot be shaken with a single night's sleep. You might notice your energy flagging, your thoughts turning inward more often than usual. The outer world presses in with its routines, its requests, its small demands. Still, they feel less urgent now, somehow more distant. There is friction in trying to keep up, and a subtle pressure builds as you try to balance what is expected with what you truly need. The momentum that carried you through recent victories now falters. You sense a crossroads, even if it's not dramatic. Choices arise, not about grand moves, but about whether to honor your own need for space. You may feel a magnetic pull toward quiet, toward moments of genuine stillness. Yet, even as you long for it, the pressure to stay engaged persists. The friction isn't loud, but it's real. A tension between the demands of the outer world and the soft call of your inner world. You may find yourself negotiating between these, seeking a truce that lets you breathe. It is in this uneasy pause that something important stirs. You sense that rest isn't just a break, but a necessary gathering of strength. The world may not grant you a perfect window for stillness, but the invitation lingers. The active pressures are less about external struggles now, and more about the quiet work of honoring your own rhythms, even as life's current tries to sweep you along. There's a subtle turning here, Sagittarius. The path ahead is not set in stone. What unfolds depends on the way you meet the silence, the way you choose to respond, or not respond, to what rises up in this pause. Your potential this week is not a fixed destination. It's something that can only emerge if you engage with the moment as it is, not as you wish it were. There is an invitation to notice what surfaces in the space between striving and surrender. If you meet this moment with consciousness, you create the possibility for real transformation. If you do not, the week may simply pass as a blur, with the same old patterns quietly repeating. The choice and the chance for renewal rests in your hands. In this space, the Ten of Swords appears, not as a threat, but as an honest mirror. It speaks to a kind of ending, but not the catastrophic one so often feared. Instead, it suggests the release that becomes possible when you finally stop struggling against what is spent. Growth this week feels less like a triumph and more like a gentle surrender. There is relief in letting go of burdens that no longer serve. Perhaps you realize that the applause you chased is not as nourishing as genuine rest. Or maybe you see with sudden clarity the effort it takes to maintain old stories about what you must achieve to be worthy. The Ten of Swords signals a willingness to set those stories down. There's space here for you to notice the cost of carrying them and to wonder what life would feel like without their weight. This kind of growth isn't loud. It's quiet, almost imperceptible at first. A slow exhale, a softening, a sense that you can finally lay something to rest. The invitation is to meet this ending with compassion, to trust that what falls away now makes room for something more honest, more sustaining. You don't need to force a new beginning, you only need to allow the old to complete itself. In this way, the week offers you not just recovery, but a gentle return to yourself. All three cards weave together into a story of striving, slowing, and release. The Six of Wands marks the place where you've been seen, where effort has paid off. The Four of Swords arrives just as you realize that victory does not replace the need for deep rest. And in the Ten of Swords, you are shown the quiet freedom that comes from laying down what has become too heavy. This week is not about grand gestures or dramatic change. It's about recognizing your own limits, honoring the cycles of effort and recovery within you. If you allow yourself a true pause, you may find that what seemed like defeat is actually relief. There is reassurance here. You are not alone in this rhythm. The world expects much, but your spirit knows when to step back. In this gentle surrender, you reconnect with your own wisdom. The tension eases, the ache softens, and what remains is a sense of quiet dignity. You are enough even in stillness. Especially in stillness. Actionable insights for Sagittarius this week. Notice how your body feels when you slow down, even for a few minutes. Let yourself find comfort in spaces where you don't have to explain anything. If you feel something is ending, allow yourself to breathe and gently acknowledge the release. Spoken word affirmations to repeat aloud for a more positive mindset. I let myself pause without guilt. My worth isn't measured by constant motion. I can set down what I no longer need. Peace finds me when I become still. And now, dear friend, I thank you for giving me your time. I truly hope I have given you something helpful in return. Goodbye and good luck until next time.